So, tell me something terrible. A little wine therapy always helps.
Mm-hmm. We haven't drank wine together in a while.
I forgot how strong wine is.
It's very strong.
Wines are like IPAs, where you're like, if you have like 3 IPAs, you're like, fuck, I caught a buzz. But I can
dropping F-bombs early, guys.
I can drink like 8 Coors Lights and it feels like I'm drinking water.
Well, yeah, because Coors Light has what?
I know.
3.5%.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Like fine
same thing.
18.
Like I can drink like 4 Vizzies and I'm like, whatever. Like I'm not gonna drive, but I could totally drive.
Yeah.
But like, this is my 4th glass of wine, and I'm like, I wouldn't trust myself to walk down the stairs right now.
Disclaimer: do not drink and drive.
100%.
We had a friend almost die.
Yes, that was like 10 years ago.
Oh my god,
but still,
that was when we were young and stupid, and just it was really scary.
Steal their keys, throw them in a pond, make them swim.
Yep.
But
we refuse to believe.
Forgot how strong 14.5% wine is. More specifically,
It's no joke.
Because this is, if you like red wine, Dark Horse's Big Red Blend, it's excellent.
Yes.
Maybe too excellent.
Also.
And Popcorner's Spicy Queso Chips. Big fan.
So we should introduce ourselves because then we need to pause for the cost so I can get more wine.
What?
Yep.
Do I need... Hold on. No. Because last week, 2 weeks ago,
okay,
I had to make a drink run, and you shamelessly plugged thoroughly. So when you go to get a wine run, I will shamelessly plug all our stuff.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. So, hi, I'm Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Scott.
And you're listening to Tell Me Something Terrible.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
That feels much more natural.
Shamelessly plug away.
Okay.
Do you need more?
No, I'm going to nurse what I have. So, we have Facebook. Tell Me Something Terrible. We are over 400 followers, which is massive. 500 will be like a big deal. I don't know if we're going to do anything. We're approaching 50 episodes and 500 followers on Facebook, so that's cool. That'd be awesome if those happened in like the same time frame. So, if you want to share the Facebook page, we'd appreciate it. Also, we're on Twitter, which is what I am in charge of. That's at TMSTpod. We throw out dad jokes, zingers. I was trying to do a fun facts once a week. That happened once.
I think it happened twice.
But you do get some behind the scene photos,
sure.
tweets,
Also, I'm back.
and
It takes a lot longer to uncork a wine bottle and pour a glass than just grabbing a...
no, you were fine. I was saying that
I may have twisted my ankle.
I hope
way
we
back.
hit 500 Facebook followers and 50 episodes like in the same week. I think that'd be cool. That would have to happen next week because that's when the 50 episodes happens.
Share away, guys. Shamelessly plug us.
Yes.
We like a good shameless
Thoroughly plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use lube.
Silicone-based lube.
Wow. Anyway, we have a cat sitting on my foot. That's awkward. Hey, Leo. Hey, buddy. Your asshole's on my pinky toe. I'm going to move my foot.
Heavy with the swears.
Asshole? Is that a swear?
Yes.
I feel like that's a synonym for a anatomically correct statement.
Sure.
Like at work, because I work in a microbiology department. If we had a
samples that come from
if we
assholes?
had a specimen that said asshole, I would just laugh and I would type it in nonchalantly. Every time we get a stool, like they don't give us like a site, a source.
Okay, do they have to?
No, but I always want to put in one.
And this came from Bob's asshole.
Every once in a while, we'll get a perianal swab. If it's
Is that the space between? Isn't it like
yeah,
a taint,
that's a
perianal?
taint. Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Every once in a while, we get a perianal wound.
How about the scrotum wound you got like a decade ago?
Oh, we get scrotum wounds constantly.
Really?
It's prison.
Oh my god.
It's not always wounds. Also, we had a furuncle today. Do you know what a furuncle is?
It is a group of boils or warts.
Yeah, it's a synonym for boil, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And
I learned that
And there's a
instead of school.
carbuncle.
Yes, that's a single.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, stop being a show off. Just put boil. Like, why are you putting a furuncle? Because then you're making me Google it, and then we have weird search histories. Well, it's a microbiology department. All our search histories are weird anyway. Because if we get a source we don't know, we just search it. But I was like, a furuncle. I've heard of a carbuncle. Because I feel like there should be a drink name of carbuncle. But if it looked anything like a boil,
No.
that would be not good.
No.
But doesn't it sound...
No, because I remember, side story before we get started. My mother had a boil in the crease of her underboob. And she put tar on it to pull it out.
What? Tar?
Gets better.
Like, did she go
a
out on the
thick,
road?
Sticky tar. No, like this weird black greenish tar, like kind of like the things that you get for psoriasis, right? To draw it out. And then my aunt, who was not actually my aunt, my aunt,
fake aunt,
took a Coke bottle and placed it over
and
the
heated
boil and sucked it out by squeezing
plastic
it.
one?
Yeah.
I thought she took a glass one and heated it.
That's what it was. It was a glass one. Yes. And heated it. Yes. Because it was a glass. It was a skinny. You're right. Because I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me that it being glass, but heated must have been the way they did it. It was definitely glass. It was the old school Kirby Coke bottles. I remember them sitting on their shitty couch. You know, the
You're
one
an old
that's
school
like
Kirby Coke bottle.
I tried to
Sup.
be. Goals. I remember them sitting on the shitty, like, brown, tan, creamy, like, small white flower couches that everybody had from, like, the mid-90s. In front of
good
this
sleeping
huge,
couches.
big bay
Great
window.
sleeping couches.
And I was, like, 8. No, I was older than 8.
It's back when you could take the back cushions off a couch and, like, take a hard nap on
Yes.
one.
And I remember in that same living room, I got introduced to Linkin Park at, like, 11 or 12 years old. And that's when I became a metalhead.
I saw a post the other day of,
And that's
like...
my life story.
Of, like... If you remember these 9 albums, you're like a kid from the 90s or whatever. And it had Meteora on there and not Hybrid Theory. And I was like...
Meteora is much newer than Hybrid
I
Theory.
cringed and I was like, I don't even care age. It's not as good. Hybrid Theory is
The tits.
It's the link.
Crawling in My Skin is
Also,
what introduced me to
right?
rock. That
Right.
was like my first
Anyway.
rock song. And then I found System. And then I found OTEP. And then everything went downhill from there.
I was talking to people I work with.
Yes.
They're all younger
And a
than
weird
they're all
amalgamation of people.
Yes, they're all younger than me now because I've been there for almost 10 years.
Some people never saw 9/11.
Well, no, they were born like around 9/11,
Ugh.
right? These 2001
We watched it on
babies.
TV, guys.
So, anyway, I want to start a list of
listicle?
albums and movies that our daughter needs to see when she's of an appropriate age.
Yes.
Because
Or an
I work with
inappropriate
people that haven't seen, like, okay, I use the term classics loosely. No one, okay, the new
Our
chick,
child will be watching Young Frankenstein.
the
by
new
she's
chick,
like
I'm not going to say names because neither of them listen, but maybe someday. The new chick in Micro and the new chick in Molecular, they're both in their, like, 20s, probably, late 20s,
The new chick
mid
in
20s.
Molecular is the one that you like and is a good worker, right?
New chick in Micro.
Micro.
The one I work with every day, yeah.
Right. Okay. I know which one.
Neither of them have ever seen Top Gun.
What?
You don't have to see Top
Okay,
Gun.
well,
No,
let's stop.
no, listen,
Confession
hurry.
time.
Okay,
Never seen Top Gun.
okay, that's fine. I don't think Top Gun's a movie you have to see. I was just like surprised. Movie, okay, this one you're gonna have a reaction to. Movie they've never seen.
Harry Potter.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
What?
Exactly. Yeah. No. I made a joke about it today, and they both looked at me like I was speaking a foreign language because I said I'm a man of constant sorrow, and they're like, huh? And I was like,
Sir, you're being dramatic.
I was like, it's a movie. You've never seen our brother where art thou? They're like, and
George Clooney is a saint. He's a godsend.
one of them said, I've never heard of that movie.
It was my dad's favorite movie for a really long time. But to be fair,
Okay.
I just found out in church when they were singing that song, that the Naked Chicks by the Stream, that when what's his name was convinced he got turned into a frog,
Yeah.
but he just got captured. I just found out within the last like 30 days that is a hymn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that whole movie's like set to hymns.
I used to be a hardcore atheist, like raging, annoying atheist.
My biggest thing is there's not movies that are in like my top 5 all time because that's pretty solid. But there's just movies in order to get culture references. Like there's movies I need to see still. But there's also
Oh, Brother,
like
Where Art Thou is supposed to be a modern day version of the Odyssey.
yeah. There's
It's
like
a classic.
I want to make a list of like 100 movies she needs to see between the age of like 15 and 25. Like that's
Young Frankenstein needs to be one
like
of them.
that's just like
And the producers.
there's just like
Mel
stop see
Brooks fan.
see when you start a list. But there's like a movie a month she needs to see from like even if we started at like 13 until like
Whenever the fuck she gets sick of
whenever
us.
the fuck she moves out, or then like we can just hand her DVDs and be like, okay, you got to go to the Goodwill and find a DVD player, and then you can watch these. But I just want
Because by then DVD players
but
will not
I just
exist.
want to start a list of like albums because we have Spotify. I'm like albums you need to listen to at least once, and then movies like once a month. Be like you're coming over until you're 25. You're coming over once a month, and we're making you watch a movie from the 90s /2000 / whatever. Anyway.
And she can do the same, because then it'll keep us youthful. She'll be like, okay, fine, you old asses, you got to watch this movie.
We'll think we're youthful.
And then we'll get drunk and
we'll think we're youthful, and then we're going to realize we're not. Also, it's been 12 minutes in, and we have not even...
God, everybody's turned us off. They're like, these people just ramble.
We do, but also, you got to realize, on Sunday, when we recorded that thing, the other podcast, we didn't get to, like, do this at all.
No, we didn't.
And, like, I was like, I'm not even going to talk to you for 3 days. Let's save it. Just kidding.
We're not that busy. Today, I was surprisingly unbusy.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Tomorrow's a big day? Oh, we've been married 9 years tomorrow.
Yeah. So, like...
Where's my ring?
We're recording this. I have it. Again, I'm making you wait.
Are you going to hide it for another year?
Yeah. No, but...
Guys, he had my ring for a
engagement
year
ring, yeah.
before he proposed.
Anyway.
And I knew it.
Listen. So we're recording this tonight so that tomorrow night and then this whole weekend we can, like, celebrate and go out and...
enjoy each other.
Yeah, and just not, think about work, or not that this is work, but, like, any sort of responsibility. Mm-hmm. And get probably drunk more than we should.
At a local wineries.
On Saturday, yes. And then Friday night, go downtown, get drunk, and play Pokemon Go. Because,
oh my God, they're everywhere.
I know.
Hi.
That's what we're going to be doing.
We're going to go to Cascades.
So if you live around us on Friday night, and if you're out in downtown, if you're in downtown Jackson, we will be wandering the streets.
You can't miss me. I have bright red hair.
And I have a beard down to my nipples. Just kidding.
Not that long.
I want it to get that long, though.
Do you really?
Maybe just the tip. I'm going for the V.
Just the tip?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're going to shamelessly plug, it's got to include just the tip.
Okay.
No, I'm going for that V for Vendetta for when the apocalypse happens. Also,
you will be a high maintenance apocalypse, sir.
Why?
Because you'll have to shape it.
That's fine.
We won't have electricity.
I'll just have a really sharp hatchet.
Okay.
Anyway, it has been like 20 minutes. We have had a good wine buzz going for. We played Harry Potter before this, the greatest board game ever created, Battle for Hogwarts, and now we're ready to go.
Okay.
I have a cat at my feet. I think he's alive. He may not be. Every day's a question mark when you're a 15-year-old cat.
He's not 15 yet.
He's 10.
He's 12.
He's 12? Are you alive? He's fine. We
got him when we first started dating when I barely turned 21.
And you're 32, so that's 11. She's so good at math.
Bad at math.
Anyway.
All right, so luckily this is a short one after we've rambled on.
I might have to edit this podcast, too.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
We might need to put like a...
Did you steal my line there?
We just need to put we need to put like a timer. Like if you don't want to listen to us like ramble, skip to this point.
Do you know what a skipper is? Do you know what skipper's slang for?
In sports? Have my world wreck?
No, in sports, you know what skipper is slang for?
No.
It's a coach.
Why?
Skip? I don't know. I can hear myself on the mic now.
I told you.
I need to speak in a lower register.
No,
right. The headphones are jacked because we were messing around with Zoom call stuff earlier.
Yep.
I'll throw them on the ground.
That's the least expensive part of this whole setup, so I'm not mad about it.
Those headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those on Black Friday like 4 years ago for like $28.
Lord.
They're $55 headphones though.
Good for you.
Thank you. I love a good deal.
Ask me about how much I paid for these pajama pants.
That you had at a garage sale?
$1.
A Diala?
So, I guess we'll officially get started now that we've rambled enough and bored enough people.
That's fine.
This one's supposed to be a shorty.
Don't worry, we missed you too.
Yep. So for this episode, I'm going to ruin something that is close to our hearts.
Thank you. I was really hoping to enjoy my life.
It's alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nah, you won't ruin that for me. I know.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about like what it's doing to us. I'm talking about the past. So we're going to get a glimpse into like the worst segment in American history.
Prohibition?
Prohibition, yes.
I was going to say, most people would say slavery, but I'm glad you went with prohibition.
Yeah, no.
Maybe rethink that. Yeah. Maybe.
No, there's a couple things I guess I suppose you could say worse than prohibition.
100%, yes.
Yeah. Like slavery kind of sucked.
Couple of wars we've been through.
There are a few wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like the repression of the LGBTQ community, redlining, which is modern day, like, you know, there are some worse things, but this also kind of sucked.
You haven't done a podcast on gerrymandering yet.
Look, we ain't got time. I'm trying not to get overly political because then everybody will stop fucking listening.
Or angry.
Look, do you want me to die early?
I brought it up just to get get the blood flowing.
Yeah, you're trying to get my
Your hair looks really red right now.
Yeah, because I'm angry.
No, it's just...
No, it's fresh.
It's so fresh.
So fresh? It's not clean, though. So, apart from all of this, there was a lot of callousness of the American federal government and the policy that it had picked up regarding poisoning industrial alcohol, all while knowing that people were going to take this industrial alcohol and redistill the product and possibly, aka more than likely, get hurt.
Okay, so you're focusing on one aspect of prohibition?
Yes. So they actually had wound up developing a formula to increase the toxicity of industrial alcohol, specifically to deter people from denaturing it. We'll get to it. Because of its even higher percentage of the poison that they put in it, and also they had added additional compounds to further its poisonous effects.
I'm loosely familiar with denaturing.
Okay.
I was a biochem major.
Oh yeah, you guys did you guys denature all industrial alcohol?
I said
I was Spring Arbor?
I said I was loosely familiar.
Hey, some bathtub gin
we made biodiesel out of McDonald's grease. I'm just saying.
Yeah, which might be worse than the bathtub gin.
It smelled good.
Yeah. Ugh. I had McDonald's in so long that like the thought of tasting McDonald's now just disgusts me.
You're at the end of your leash there of your microphone. I hate how good Burger King smells every day at lunchtime. I'm just driving. I'm like, I'm going to go get a salad. I'm going to go get Subway. And then I smell Burger King. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, no. Now,
keep your flame broiler under wraps, King.
Could you imagine never being able to eat that ever again in your life?
You could eat it.
Yeah. And feel like shit and shit my brains out and have like severe acid reflux and look like I'm 5 months pregnant for the next 2 weeks. That sounds like fun.
Without the bun. You can eat without the bun.
I just really want to increase my chances of colon cancer. No,
sorry.
I want a tender crisp chicken. There ain't nothing.
They don't make them anymore.
Yes, they do. They just redid their formula. It's not the same. I don't give a fuck. When I wind up getting diagnosed with celiac disease and I got to do my little test, that's the first thing I do.
Time out. Those gluten-free wings I made for the bonus pod,
they were delicious.
Pretty awesome.
Still not a tender crisp.
They were air-fried, boneless, skinless chicken breast, battered in almond flour and spices. They were pretty solid.
Those were chunky thighs, not chicken breast.
Did I say chicken breast?
Yeah.
I meant boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Yes. Sorry. Let's be honest. That's the more superior meat.
Yes. So, thigh meat.
Will you proceed?
Sorry.
I have a 2-page podcast that's going to go on for 8 hours long.
Going off the rails. It's not my fault.
Yeah. You're like, let's drink wine tonight. And I was like, okay, that's a great idea. Have you listened to the first 8 episodes of this podcast when we only drink wine?
No.
And I went from like drunk to sleepy from like 20 minutes on.
Okay. Well,
we 20 minutes to 20 seconds. Yeah.
So we're going to get into it. Prohibition, in case you didn't know, was ratified into the U.S. Constitution in January of 1919. And
it overtook anti-prohibition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was bad.
Thank you.
So this happened in less than 11 months after it was suggested.
Okay.
So they gave it 7 years to try to get ratification, but enough states ratified it that they were like, sure, why not? And it took 11 months.
Okay.
And it became active on January 17th. Just kidding. I believe it was it the 17th? Yeah, we'll go with 17th. Whatever. Mid-January 1920 by means of the Volstead Act. So this created the 18th Amendment.
Can you imagine if they tried to install in-state prohibition now?
There's no way. This was already chaos, and they knew it was bad from the start. So at first, enforcing prohibition was left at the hands of the IRS. And eventually...
What?
Yeah. I know. I don't get it. They left it up to the IRS.
I feel like the IRS might have had a wide umbrella at that point.
Maybe. So eventually the Justice Department took over along with...
Was it just us or just you?
It was just us.
Okay.
The just us.
Sorry. The low-hanging fruit tonight is what I'm going for.
Go for it.
Thank you.
So they took over, and then eventually Prohibitions developed their very own governmental department, creatively named the Prohibition Bureau.
Wow.
Yep.
Think tank.
Yep. So precedents for the Volstead Act existed because Massachusetts tried to instill a state prohibition of alcohol, but it lasted a total of 2 whole years. So it obviously is,
I'm just holding my Boston accent in.
Yeah. Please. It's very rude. It's very rude. So I think there was one other state that wound up instilling it. I think it was Maine wound up instilling it, but it also got redacted. Redacted? Retracted. Redacted is when they blank out parts in a report. Mm-hmm. Retracted means it's just pulled back.
Yeah.
So that wound up setting precedents.
Like a dick after sex.
Ew.
What do you want to call it?
Oh, no.
It's not shrinkage. It's redacting.
You mean redicting?
I sat that out in front of you. I was like, she's got to take this, right?
It took me 2 times. I figured it out.
2 times. Tiffy 2 times over here.
So it's really cute.
The Boston started to sneak out there.
It did.
My favorite.
Just
okay.
Don't drop the
No.
R word,
My
we're
second
fine.
favorite.
Don't.
No. Listen. Okay. I used to listen to SVP and Russillo on ESPN all the time.
Okay.
My second favorite Boston's story / saying of all time is when Russillo would say, "If I buy a candy bar, can I use your dumper?" And he would say it all the time, and it always made me laugh. What?
That is not the most offensive Boston accent.
I know. I said my second favorite thing to say, yeah, but it's always yeah. If I buy a candy bar, can I use your dumper? It cracks me up.
You got that Irish in you, so it's
Thank
just
you.
innate.
And every time I go to the store to buy you Reese's cups because you're an addict, that's all I want to say is if I buy a candy bar, can I use your dumper?
And no one would get
And
it.
the chicken mo would be like, the bathroom's over there, if that's what you mean by dumper. I'm like, yeah, I do. Anyway.
Oh, the youth in the stores. We know we're getting old when oh God, I made a reference to something. Oh God, the one guy when I walked into Dollar General once went, "Welcome to Walmart." And as I was leaving, I told him next time someone comes in, you need to say "Welcome to Good Burger," and he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. We're getting old.
Is it?
No.
Oh goodness. Sorry, that was the only downside of wine is the yawning. I can't it's the worst.
Hold it back.
No.
Only have a page.
I'm actually gonna I'm gonna eat the mic next time I yawn, even harder.
Okay.
In The Mummy when the sandstorm thing. No, I used to love The Mummy. Apparently, he had a very good time. Greatest quote from The Mummy. Go back and watch it. Go ahead. Please continue your story.
So it's really cute that the temperance movement, which had been growing in the United States since the 1820s.
The temperance movement?
Yeah, the Puritans being you can't have sex, you can't do this, you have to be buttoned up from your neck to your knees.
Okay.
Don't cut your fucking hair, make sure you wear bloomers. You only have sex to have babies, those kind of people.
It's recreation, not recreation.
Sure. Totally. So they thought that prohibition was totally going to be a successful thing. Mm-hmm. Initially, arrests for public drunkenness decreased by 30%, along with a decrease in other alcohol-based crimes. The more conservative governing bodies thought it was going to work out just fine. In fact, the federal government said in 1929 they totally had illegal alcohol manufacturing consumption under control. They did not.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep. To assuage bootlegging, they passed, I believe the word you're looking for is
How do you
propaganda.
spell assuage?
ASSUAGE.
U-A. Okay, so it's like sausage, just bojangled.
Sure. So to
Boggled. Boggled is the name of that game, not Bojangles.
Yep. So
That's a fried chicken place. Anyway, proceed.
So to sausage bootlegging, they passed regulations to increase.
Sausage bootlegging totally needs to be. Imagine a guy just drive around a car with a crate full of sausages in the back. just pulls up.
Hey, kid, you want some sausage?
Yeah, got a fresh batch of sausage in the trunk. You need some. Hurry up. The coppers are on my tail. These sausages are illegal.
So fast.
If you pull up, hey, kid, you want some free sausage? Sorry.
So anyway.
This episode is titled Bootleg Sausage.
So they passed regulations to increase the percentage of methyl alcohol, which is an additive to the aforementioned industrial alcohol, to reduce the want to use it as to make moonshine.
Hand sanitizer.
It is used in hand sanitizer. So industrial alcohol is a stronger, already sort of toxic alcohol that is used in everyday products such as hand sanitizers, paint,
Thank you.
solvents, inks, resins, dyes, laundry detergent. It's not really meant for human
Assays.
consumption. Is it?
In a laboratory setting.
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
It stops a lot of chemical reactions.
That makes sense because it kills a lot of stuff.
Thank you. Every once in a while, you'll remember I have a real job.
You don't make it sound
I know.
that way.
I don't talk about my job much because it's uber boring, but every once in a while I'm like, hey, I know shit.
I do science.
Yeah. There's a reason we have a big house. Oh, fuck. I dropped my wedding ring again.
Damn it.
This is why we don't podcast outside. Remember when Andy had to rip up his
He
deck
ripped
board?
like 3 boards to find it.
All right. We're back. We're back.
But the industrial alcohol can be ran through a distillery to denature the industrial alcohol into something that's actually consumable by humans. So increasing the percentage of methanol alcohol would reduce the person's ability to distill out everything that it could kill someone. So they made it so that it's really difficult to actually get all of the wood alcohol or methanol or methyl alcohol out of the industrial alcohol that they were converting to moonshine.
Yep.
So they know it was going to be dangerous to consume.
Yep.
They knew it. They did it on purpose. So by mid-1927, kerosene and butane, which is a plant alkaloid closely related to strychnine, gasoline, benzene, cadmium, iodine, zinc, mercury salts, nicotine, ether, formaldehyde, chloroform, camphor, carbolic acid, quinine, and acetone were also added to the alcohol.
Okay.
All those sound a little bit poisonous.
Yeah, that's like a who's who of shit you shouldn't consume. So yeah.
So methyl alcohol, also known as wood alcohol, had some pretty terrible effects on the human body. The onset of lesser symptoms took place between 10 to 12 hours after consumption, and this included a decreased level of consciousness, poor to no coordination, vomiting, abdominal pain, and a specific smell to your breath, which I meant to look up and I did not.
So it's like taking pot.
Except usually pot doesn't kill you. Taking pot.
Yeah. I said that on purpose. I was waiting for you.
Like your mother. She has them on the marijuana.
On the pot.
All right, Karen.
On the pot in my family growing up meant you were taking a shit. So yeah.
No, she very specifically said she has them on the pot, on the marijuana.
She spells marijuana with an H too. So
She also says diabetes, like diabetes.
marijuana. Yeah, like Bert, whatever. What was his name?
I don't remember.
All I could think of was Bert Kretschar. Not
That's
him.
not it.
No, Bert Bremley or Walt Bremley.
Yes, it. Yeah.
Your diabetes is delivered straight to your door through Liberty Medical.
Medical.
Yeah. I do get my diabetes testing supplies delivered straight to my door, though.
They're not from Liberty Medical, though,
no, it's
right?
J&B Medical. But like full circle, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. So these symptoms can appear with.
Hashtag T1D problems. It's type 1 diabetic.
You're so cute.
That's what we call ourselves.
Oh, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
I shorten it to celiacs.
I should hashtag Dexcom Warrior a picture of my sensor. That's the thing now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hashtag
What's his
trending?
tits? Jonas started it.
One of the brothers.
The diabetic one.
Yeah.
Not the old. What's the young one that's actually got talent?
Don't even. You're lucky
Nick.
I know who the Jonas brothers are.
Nick Jonas is the one with talent, right?
Sure.
Joe Jonas is the oldest one.
Sure.
There's another one.
All right.
And then there's the one with diabetes.
Sure.
To me, that's the downfall of the Jonas brothers. Purity rings and diabetes.
Ugh. Purity? They really did that? That was still a thing then?
I think
Guys, education is more important than purity.
I think they were the thing then. Anyway, Nick Jonas has type 1 diabetes. He's on Bear Grylls, remember?
Sure. Oh, yeah, he was.
Goodness gracious.
Look. I'm awful. So these symptoms can appear with only drinking a little bit of the methyl alcohol.
Of the alcohol. Of the pot.
Of the pot. So long-term effects include blindness and kidney failure, which can eventually lead to death, and essentially this is caused from the compounds that methanol alcohol breaks down inside the human body.
Mm-hmm.
So it breaks down to like formic acid and formaldehyde. Mm-hmm. With a percentage of methyl alcohol added to the industrial alcohol, even from distilling it, especially at like home, which was done illegally and quickly and probably very
So no matter
sloppily.
what you did, it still had the wood in it.
Yes. It's a problem. So it could take as little
I was just
as...
making sure we're on the same page here.
Yep. So it can take as little as 3 drinks to make you violently ill or kill you.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, good thing this wine doesn't have that, or we'd be...
You know what? There are actually very modern cases of it happening, and you have to be very careful as a moonshiner because it can wind up actually being a byproduct in the like distillery process.
I'm more of a mooner than a moonshiner.
No one wants to see your moon.
What?
What? Yeah, I've done so many squats though.
All the squats.
So this wound up happening by 1926 when in just New York City, 750 people had died from the poisoned hooch and thousands... That's what
The
they
term
call it.
hooch isn't thrown around enough anymore.
we're
Next time,
making a
yeah.
comeback.
Yeah.
Yep. Next time we're going to drink some hooch.
Next time, yeah, I'm going to be like, hey, you want me to run up and grab you some fizzy? I'm like, I'm going to make a hooch run.
Totally.
No?
Nope, we're bringing it back. Hooch is usually moonshine. Like if you want to get technical.
I can get you some more Yukon Jack. That's as close as they...
No, you know what? We need to get a hold of my Uncle Joe. He can make us some hooch.
There we go. He makes wine too, right?
He does, and brandy. If the batch of wine turns out poorly, they just run it through the distiller again, and make brandy. So there were also thousands more that were suffering from life altering side effects like blindness and paralysis. So on Christmas of that same year, 1926,
Ho, ho, ho.
a man came stumbling.
That's a Santa joke. I don't even know what your issue is.
It was the way you said it.
How did I...
Ho, ho, ho. Like a question
Ho,
mark.
ho, ho. That's not at all how I said it, but okay. I have the audio to prove it.
So a man came stumbling into New York City's a New York City emergency room, disoriented and hallucinating, screaming about Santa who was chasing him.
Sorry. Foreshadowing.
Santa was chasing him through the streets of New York carrying a baseball bat.
Okay.
Yep.
Although with all the Santa... Sorry, spoiler alert, kids. Santa, dress alikes.
It legitimately could have been
Yeah.
some,
Yeah. Have you seen
also
Bad
drunken
Santa?
Human being. Yeah. No, he was straight up hallucinating. So he died before the staff could even question him about what could have happened to him.
Did Santa catch him?
No. No, he died from the poison.
Billy wants a bat for Christmas. Sorry.
He died. Can you be more sensitive?
You didn't give me a name.
Yeah. I couldn't find a name.
Okay. It's easier when there's no name.
Yes. So, and there were just more and more people stumbling into hospital rooms across the state, with a total of 65 people frying.
Jesus.
Christ.
Prohibition got dark.
Yeah, it did. Dying from the
Alcohol's illegal. Oil's not.
just a Roman candle set ablaze.
They're turning these moonshining pits into deep fryers.
So
These cops are vicious. Yeah.
It's a very high alcohol
Yeah, that's why they use copper.
So, 65 people wound up dying from poisoned alcohol on that single day. On New Year's Day in 1927, so it was a week later, 41 people died.
Another big drinking night, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 41 people died in just New York City's Bellevue Hospital alone. So just one hospital in that big-ass city.
Mm-hmm.
So Charles Norris,
Chuck Norris.
Yes,
Okay.
Chuck Norris.
You were going to let that sneak by, weren't you? You're going to see if I picked up on it?
Yep. It legitimately was his name, and I got so excited about it.
Okay.
So Chuck Norris, the medical examiner for New York City, determined that all of the deaths that were due to the alcohol additives that had been required by the federal government.
Okay.
Yes.
The cyanide they were putting in the booze.
Pretty much.
When was MK Ultra?
The 60s.
Okay. Why have you
so-
not done MK Ultra yet?
Look, we have deep dives
look.
I'm telling you,
We can
there
do
are
it.
certain shit
We can
you
do a
cannot
two-parter
do.
at any day.
It would have to be like a 4-part. MK Ultra is my jam. I fucking love MK Ultra. We'd have to do like a mini series within here to cover MK Ultra.
Okay.
It's Canada's involved. It's amazing. I fucking
So like
love MK Ultra.
February 2022 is going to be MK Ultra month, and it's just going to
Yep.
be every
Every
episode.
episode.
And there's
Don't care.
And there's an MK Ultra wine. We own a bottle of it.
Oh my god, we do.
Oh my god, and it's got a bearded fella on the front.
It does.
But
everything is circling back.
It's a white. I'm not drinking it.
No, I don't care if you don't drink it. I will smash it.
Just saying, I don't drink white wine
So anyway,
unless I have to. Desperate times.
The federal government didn't add it to the alcohol. They added it to the thing that they knew people were using to make the alcohol illegally.
Okay, so it's like fluoride in our water.
Look, don't. Even,
I know.
Please don't tell me. If you are literally going to tell me that you believe in that conspiracy theory, we're getting a divorce tonight.
Please
don't
I
tell
like
me.
to poke that bear. No. I like
Scott.
to watch your hair get a little darker.
You have not once in the last 30 seconds tell me that you do not believe that the fluoride's making us stupid.
No, I think fluoride's necessary.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
I'm a biochemistry major.
I'm just making... Yeah, well, there's a lot of nurses that have gone off the deep end, so I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Have we done enough of like making me sweaty and angry?
You're wearing fleece sweatpants and it's
sweaty
92
and
degrees outside.
It is.
You're going to be sweaty and angry? I have chocolate for you after this is done. Keep going.
It's my constant state.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Literally, I have to buy chocolate before we record these to simmer her down afterwards. Not all the time.
It's
just sometimes.
like a Dementor interaction.
Yeah, it helps. Oh no, the chocolate's not for you. It's for me. Yeah, after you suck the soul out of me for 40 minutes, I'm like, ooh, chocolate will help. I'm also diabetic, so it kind of numbs the pain. I can't feel my limbs. This is good, right? Just kidding. No, I turn my notifications on so my blood sugar gets high. My phone's going to go off now.
Okay.
Let's see where it's at. Oh, and it's a little high. We'll be all right.
All right. So that same year, over 480,000 gallons of illegally distilled alcohol was confiscated by the government, and nearly all of it contained variations of the poisonous additives.
Okay.
Just from New York City.
Holy. Okay. I thought you meant like
No.
Mr. Worldwide.
Just New York.
Wow.
Urban centers were hit a lot harder, obviously because there was like a higher population, and then a lot of your like more country. Wow.
Say what?
More of your like more
Rural?
country-based farmland type areas were more shockingly obedient to prohibition, and your cities were the ones that were rebelling against it, which is the exact opposite of today.
Okay.
Which, sorry, it just like hit me that I'm like, oh my God. It's the opposite.
Or they were just caught less because they had more space to hide it.
Or a lot of people in the country were much more religious, and since this is a temperance movement issue, obviously they were going to be
The
more
rural
obedient
people
because they
were-
didn't drink that much to begin
The
with.
power of Christ compelled them?
Yes.
Okay, keep
it
going.
really did. Even though Jesus was totally a wino.
I don't know, wine-o.
Okay, look, this motherfucker, and then when they were at a wedding and they ran out of wine, he was like, give me some water, and turned it into wine.
He drank and knew things.
Yeah.
He was the imp.
So lay off him, guys.
Will you keep going?
Anyway, in
was gonna say-
response, the government, even though they were there was public outcry to what they were adding to the industrial alcohol, they did nothing. In fact, the government knew exactly what it was doing, so much so that the advocate for the prohibition and the poisoned industrial alcohol, his name was Wayne B. Wheeler, he was a lawyer who was also the leader of the anti-saloon league that developed prohibition. Essentially, he was like a mainstay, the only like one of the reasons why prohibition existed in the first place. He said, quote, "The person who drinks this industrial alcohol is a deliberate suicide. To root out a bad habit costs many lives and long years of effort."
So he was proud of his additives to the alcohol.
And he was and he was fine with the fact that tens of thousands of people would die
Of degenerates, yeah.
Yes, and even more so, the number of people who would be incapacitated for life.
Can
He was
you-
perfectly fine with
Can
that.
you imagine if, like, right now...
Just so that people would stop drinking alcohol, even though It's a temperance movement, which is based in like extreme Christianity. They did not give a shit. No one was a drunk. They didn't care.
Can you imagine
Not a thing.
right now they like tried to backpedal on all like the legalizing marijuana and started lacing it with like toxic chemicals? That's pretty much what you're talking about. You know? Like that's
No, it's why heroin. That's why there were so many heroin deaths in Jackson, because look, illegal shit like this is gonna happen. Like, why not make it slightly more legal? Some stuff, not like,
heroin.
I'm not talking about hard stuff. I'm not talking about heroin and crack and shit. It's gonna happen. Why not make it legal and safe?
and taxable.
And taxable. Yes. You want to know the best way to get our country out of debt?
Yeah.
Drugs, guys.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Yeah. I literally want a highway program. Like I want
Oh my God.
marijuana.
Colorado.
I just want marijuana.
Had a surplus. They had like a $2 billion surplus, and
Yeah.
they just gave the money back to the people.
That's what I want. I want highway programs. I want pot to fix potholes. That's what I want. I should run for governor. You're
Yeah, you
right.
should.
You're right.
Oh my God.
I mean, come on. I've got that punny politician vibe to me.
And he has a cute background where no one will question it because he was raised Baptist and went to Spring Arbor, which is the local Christian
I was
church.
raised Baptist for like till I was like 8. But yeah.
Still.
But I have a chemistry from a private college.
That
like
was a Christian
I'm
college.
kind of a hybrid.
Yeah, he'd hit everybody's, points.
I have a podcast full of all sorts
His
of incriminating
wife
evidence.
Who's a raging feminist.
Yeah, where could this go wrong?
Everywhere. Ben Kissel tried to run in the politics.
Did he
Yeah.
run into politics?
Yeah, he ran into politics.
I could run into a politician.
like a wall.
I just drive my truck into him. Yeah.
Please, I got a list.
Okay, and now we've made a
Guys, don't do that.
We've made a different list somewhere now. Thank you. Will you finish your story? This is gone
Off the rails.
I mean, it's deviated. It's not like last time where we started heading the opposite direction. But yes,
So, according to the Smithsonian, the poison industrial
they sound
alcohol-
legit.
Yeah, a little bit legit.
We've been to one or two of those before.
You know, I think I might have only been one.
DC
Yeah. Side note: if you go to DC, there's 19 Smithsonians, and all of them are free.
Smith what?
Smithsonian.
Easy for you to say.
So anyway, the poisoned industrial alcohol tactic was, quote, a chemical enforcement of prohibition.
A barbaric tactic. Wait, what did you say? Sorry, I misheard
No,
you there.
a chemical enforcement.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So by the time that prohibition had been abolished in December of 1933 by the 21st Amendment, in addition to the increased...
Sorry. I've done...
We got
No.
a
Listen.
little bit of history in there.
Listen, no, there's things that come in my head that are just for in my head. I'll tell you after the podcast.
No, please say it now. Right now, we're going to have an awkward pause, and you're going to tell us exactly what it was. Awkward pause?
I was just going to say, no. I was going to say it's like a mom putting like cayenne pepper in your lotion because you were jerking off too much. That's like in my brain. That's where I was like, it's kind of like that where you're yeah. Anyway, because that to me is like the worst fucking.
God forbid you have a discussion about the root issues.
Yeah, no. Yeah, just poison it so it makes you never want to do it again. AKA kills you.
Wait till we get to the Kellogg's. We're going to do a couple episodes on them.
Okay, keep going.
Also, by the way, this movement.
Jamie,
apart from
Big
the
J 1066 loves cereal, so you're going to ruin a lot of things for him.
Yes, I'm so excited. So anyway, apart from just the temperance movement and the evangelical church and all of these super conservative people, it was the prohibition was also a big advocate for prohibition was women, because they felt like alcohol consumption was destroying the sanctity of marriage. Never mind the fact that your husband's probably just like a debaucherous piece of shit, and you got stuck marrying him because it was the only way that you guys could actually be able to have like a living,
Yeah,
to
but
be
they're
alive,
probably-
because you weren't allowed to get a job
but they're
because it was
probably-
the
yeah.
1920s.
There's probably some credence to it, though. They probably like, hey, if he drank less, he'd be less of a piece of shit.
Right, except maybe you guys need to figure out why he's a piece
Yeah,
of
no,
shit.
no. I'm not. No, I'm just saying that there's
It-
probably a
It's
middle
literally-
ground.
it's
There's a middle ground.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's literally parallels to the gun laws today, where it's like we need to talk about mental health and find out why these people are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just like same with prohibition. We need to. Just
You're not
reassess.
reading your script anymore.
Nah, I've gone off the rails. So, it was abolished by the 21st Amendment, So in addition to the increased gang...
Is that the right to bear drinks?
Yes. All the drinks.
My favorite amendment.
To beer arms instead of bear arms. All right. Look. I'm funny too. So, in addition to the increase in gang activity, cue Al Capone, and rum running and smuggling and murder, an estimated 10,000 people died from drinking poisoned alcohol. I saw somewhere that could be upwards to 37,000.
Okay, that's a pretty big variance.
Yes. And well, because they don't
Plus
know.
or minus 400%.
Somebody literally could have drank and dropped dead and then not gone anywhere because it was the 1920s. So who gave a shit?
If they dropped dead, they weren't going to go anywhere, Tiff.
Well, I mean, like their family members just probably...
I'm just saying zombies aren't real. Yet.
Yet. And there were tens of thousands.
Will you do an episode on the chupacabra, by the way?
I have a list.
Look.
Cryptids are on there. Just give me a minute.
Maybe I'll do a bonus episode on cryptids.
Okay. You need to do the chupacabra. I will do Michigan cryptids.
Chupacabras kind of been like... Anyway, proceed.
A lot of them, they've all been done. So anyway, there were also tens of thousands that had experienced...
Also, this is how we live our lives outside of the podcast, just in case you're curious.
How our marriage works?
Yeah. This is us going, hey, do you know about this? I do. And then we talk about it, and then we're like, we should do a podcast. And we're like, well, it kind of already been done. Anyway, proceed.
Well, I'm covering... You said we need to do some regular main staples, too, so I'm trying to. I've got a list. So...
Yeah. So does TSA, and we're on it.
It's more like the FBI. But if we can't, we're not that bad.
All I need to do is fly to New Orleans, solve the secret, and move on with my life.
All right. We'll fly. You hate flying. You're going to get on a plane without me?
I'm not saying I hate flying. I've just never flown. Those are separate things.
You have an irrational fear of flying.
I don't have an irrational fear. I've just never done it. I'm not afraid to fly.
You were like, I don't know how big I am on flying. I have control issues. He doesn't even it when I drive.
I think I would have a harder time on like an 8-hour train ride than on a 2-hour flight. You know? Mm-hmm. I'm more claustrophobic, like for long periods of time, than I am like the fear of like the lack of control thing. Like a 2-hour flight to me, I don't think it'd be a big deal. If I flew like to like Europe, yeah, I'd have an issue. If that was my first flight,
oh, that would be horrible.
Yeah. I'd be like, bro, I ran out of podcast 6 hours ago. Now what do I do?
Jump out of the plane into the ocean.
Yeah.
Anything is better
DB
than
Cooper
this.
style. I got this. That wasn't over the ocean.
No, it wasn't. So, apart from the 10,000 people that had died from drinking the poisoned alcohol, tens of thousands experienced irreparable damage over the course of 7 years. So, that's sort of the end of the poisoned alcohol bit. I have some fun facts that I've discovered along this.
Oh, I'm sure they're super
it's
fun.
A paragraph. Calm down.
Of super fun facts.
They're not that bad. So after Prohibition was ended at a federal level, there were still a few states that made it part of their individual constitutions. Because if y'all aren't from here, we have our federal constitution.
Does every state have a constitution?
Every state has its own constitution. And whichever law is more strict,
wins.
that's the one you abide by.
Tie goes
which
the
is why
runner.
heartbeat bills are such a big deal.
I've never...
Roe versus Wade does
hold
not
on.
matter if you have states that are passing heartbeat bills.
Have you ever read the Michigan Constitution?
Fuck no. I haven't even read the United States Constitution.
Okay, but you know bits
the
and
first
pieces.
10, and that's good.
Yeah. But like you said that and I was like, I didn't realize Michigan, like there's 50 constitutions out there.
That's why our country is called the United States.
No, I understand. Okay, I know we have our own
We're
laws.
like a bunch of little mini countries inside of one big country, and that's why we're a mess.
I know that there's different state laws and all that. I just didn't realize there was 50 whatever. I don't know if like some of the like Dominican Republic and all that have like their own like all the
Doubtful.
But I just didn't realize everyone had their own constitution. I know they had their own laws and their own governing bodies. Anyway,
Right.
Proceed.
So anyway.
This is just me over here learning things.
Yep. So after the prohibition was ended at a federal level, there were still a few states that made it part of their individual constitutions.
Yep, I've heard
and
this part.
The last one, Mississippi, they fully ended state prohibition in 1996.
Oh, that seems recent. Is that why Mississippi mud? So isn't that the like weird beer bottle thing I have?
Oh, the like
Black
little
and tan?
jug?
Yeah.
Maybe. But we still have at least 179 counties that are fully dry, in hundreds that are partially dry,
In
which is
so many ways.
mostly they're in Texas. So that winds up with restricted sales and manufacturing of alcohol, which is where Jack Daniel's distilleries in a dry
Lexington or
county.
whatever.
Yep.
Is it Lexington?
I don't remember.
It's in Kentucky.
I read through it and didn't write it down because I was more focused on counting. I was annoyed that I had to count through.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a cut and dry like, this is how many counties. Because
I think it was cut and dry.
No. Yes, it was cut and dry. So there are also hundreds more that are partially dry, like I said, in Texas. And then this winds up mostly restricting liquor because so some stuffs that are like partially dry, they are fine with beer, but not okay with liquor. And then Hudsonville, Michigan, was actually the last dry city in Michigan. So on top of
They're so busy making ice cream, they didn't care.
Yes. They're like, we'll drown our sorrows in chocolate and milk.
Their Tiger Tracks ice cream, phenomenal.
The tits.
Phenomenal.
So good.
I don't think you can have it.
I cannot. There are pretzels in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hudsonville Tiger Tracks. Is there?
Does it still exist?
Is one of our animals snoring?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's Leo over there. I was so confused. I was like, what is that noise?
So on top of being able to restrict things down to like states and counties, villages and municipalities were also allowed to make laws regarding if they were going to allow the sale of alcohol. So Hudsonville was the last dry city in Michigan, and it voted to allow the sale of alcohol to take place in its village in, you want to take a guess?
2004. 2007?
2007.
Nice.
Making Michigan a fully moist state.
Ooh, like a good brownie.
Yes. So
For people who hate the word moist, fuck you.
it's awful.
Go eat a brownie.
Stop
It's
it.
not a bad word.
It's
Skittles is a worst word.
moist.
Moist is the delicious brownie.
Nope.
No. Moist is the good word.
All right. I can blame Todd on ruining moist
Okay.
for me. It was already bad, and then he just solidified. I have PTSD from working at Family Dollar.
No, I hate the word Skittles more than moist. You know this, though.
Yes.
Because the word Skittles to me is like, it has a weird visceral reaction.
Could you say it any worse? Skittles.
No, it's a terrible word. It's a terrible name for a candy. Decent candy. I don't really love fruity candy, but chocolate's the bomb. Yeah, I said the bomb. You want to fight me? Okay, good.
He's looking at you with big eyes.
I thought you had your magnifying glasses on.
Ow.
Will you finish up?
Okay, so now we're just at sources.
I was just about to go down a Skittles moist tangent.
This is long enough.
That's what she said.
So we have sources, which is a video from a series called Drinks, Crime, and Prohibition by the Smithsonian.
Okay.
Snopes.com.
You and your Snopes.
Look, it's a legit, and they put their sources underneath. Where do you think I got a lot of this stuff from?
I'm just saying. What's the guy from Star Wars? Is his name Snope?
Is it? I think it is. And also Time.com, an article named A History of Poisoned Alcohol, includes an unlikely culprit, the U.S. government.
The USSR.
They know how to make their vodka. They wouldn't
Yes.
have a problem
Yeah,
with
they're
this.
not about prohibition. They're about potato-bition.
Yep. So, and also a separate article just labeled prohibition.
Okay.
An article from USA Today called Fact Check. It's true. The U.S. government poisoned some alcohol during Prohibition in Wikipedia because I didn't know how methanol worked.
Okay.
And that's
my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep.
Okay.
Aren't you glad alcohol's legal now?
I mean, yeah.
Me too.
Otherwise, we'd be criminals.
That's fine. We got enough grapes. We can make our own wine.
This is
Sell
true.
it.
This is true.
Probably
You need to
poison
watch some
people.
more of those. What do you call them? Foragers videos and figure out what to do with all
The
our
Black
grapes.
Forager. Follow her on TikTok and Facebook. She's amazing.
I don't have TikTok. Anywho, if you made it this far, do you want to say?
Congratulations. This
Yeah.
was a long one somehow.
This was full of fun. This is selfish me moment. I enjoy podcasts like this more. I don't care. Like, listeners, you can tell us what you think. Like, tweet us or whatever, comment.
No
I
one
like
comments,
ones
no
like
one
this
cares.
where there's like a lot of information, but a lot of sidetrack. Like, this to me is more fun than you just beating me
Giving
down
you
with
horrible things.
horrible detail after horrible detail and me just getting belligerently drunk on seltzers because I'm sad. This one, I haven't been able to refill my glass for like a half hour, so I'm kind of sad about that. But this was like informative.
Yeah. We learned a little bit about U.S. history.
Yeah.
And why it's a bad idea to restrict things.
Well, and I genuinely like,
not a bad idea to restrict things. There needs to be regulation.
Yeah.
But maybe some things don't need to be restricted.
Well, and it comes back to the whole reason
There's a difference between restriction and regulation.
Hold on. I want to make you feel uncomfortable.
I love that.
Thank you.
Tell me more.
I know. I'm trying to get there. So, like, the whole reason we did this whole podcast thing 48 episodes in is we genuinely like talking to each other.
We do.
So, like, this kind of episode to me is fun because it feels like we're actually talking and not you talking at me.
Yeah.
Which
a discussion.
Yeah. So sometimes it, like, is more of you just telling me terrible facts over and over again, which I realize the name of the podcast and all. But, like, those ones, like, kind of, like, you feel a little drained afterwards. This one's much better. Like,
oh, good.
I'm wine drunk. I'm going to sleep so good after this because I'm wine drunk and it's like 11 o'clock at night.
And there's not methanol in our wine.
And good news.
We have good news?
We recorded this on Wednesday, so I don't have to edit this tonight.
Oh.
And upload it and do all the shit I normally do on a Thursday night when we get done recording at midnight. But it's Wednesday, so I can't wear jeans to work tomorrow. Remind me of that when I get up in the morning. Okay. Anyway, thanks
and now my cheeks hurt from smiling at you being a dork.
That's not my fault.
I love you.
I'm not going to say that on the podcast.
Oh,
no.
Guys.
I'm going to leave her hanging for 10 minutes. Wait, what time is it? Okay, our anniversary is like an hour and a half. I'll tell you then.
Oh, thanks. One time a year, guys.
Can you imagine? Anyway.
That's your parents' life.
If I feel like I say it here, I feel like I'm saying it to the people listening. And I more appreciate them. I don't necessarily love them. Unless you're a patron.
We love you.
Yes. Yep. That's how you get our affection. Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
And we'll do this again.
In a few days.
Sunday night, maybe? Monday night?
Yep.
Probably Monday night.
I started researching.
We've been ahead of the game for a day for a week, so we'll get procrastinating.
Yeah, I decided to hold off on the school shooting for a couple episodes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're hoping to have another guest episode, two-parter thing.
Yep.
But we're still working out the details because I, shockingly, not an audio engineer.
What?
And I don't want to pay for any program I don't have to.
Okay.
Because we are low budget. So, anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank you. And
we'll talk to you guys again. Tuesday?
They'll listen to us again.
No, we're going to talk at them.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
We'll talk at you on Tuesday.
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to our terrible podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Feel free to follow us on Twitter at TMSTPod.
And if you'd like to support the show, you can find us on Patreon at Tell Me Something Terrible.
Oof, that was terrible.